Number one, if we're going to simplify this, the first thing you want to do is factor top and bottom and then try to cancel something. The first type of factoring you always want to do, the first step in factoring, is pulling out greatest common factors. So if I look at the top, I notice I have a 2 I could pull out. That leaves me x squared minus xy minus, when I pull 2 out of this, it gives you 12 y squared. For the bottom, when I pull out something, I could pull out a 2 as well, but can I also pull out an x, it looks like? Yep. I can pull an x out. So that would give me what's left when I pull a 2x out. To get that, it'd be x, because 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times what is 6xy. Looks like it's going to be 3y. Okay, does anything cancel? Well, hopefully you notice the 2's do cancel. But can I factor the top still to see if something else cancels? Yes. For the top, I have negative 12 on top and negative 1 on bottom. Now, could I put a y squared and a y? Yes. But I'm just going to leave it like this for now. What are my two sides from negative 12 and negative 1? It would be negative 4 and 3. So on top, what we now have is we have x minus 4 and x plus 3. But how do we get these y's? In order to get those y's in the situation, we need to put a y at the back. Again, in order for this to be the answer with a y here and a y squared there, this needs to be a 4y and a 3y, or a negative 4y. And the bottoms, we have x and x plus 3y. Now, hopefully that helped you. Notice you can cancel now. These cancel, leaving you x minus 4y over x. Now, some of you are going to want to cancel these x and say my answer is negative 4y. You're wrong. You cannot cancel this x's off because these two are connected by a minus. You can't just go and cancel one of them off when there's a minus between. The only time you can cancel is when the two things are connected by multiply. So this is my answer. Again, do not try to cancel the x's. Number 2. If I want to do number 2, we want to factor each piece. And since this is multiply, do we flip the second one? No. Now if this was divide, you flip the second one. So we factor the top here. When we factor that, we're going to get x plus 3, x minus 1. When you factor the bottom here, looks like we have a 2 that comes out. When you pull out a 2, looks like we're going to have 2 times x gives you 2x, and 2 times 3 gives you 6, times, is there a GCF here? Yes, I see a 2, and that leaves us x squared minus 4. And on the bottom, that's 1 minus x. Look over here. Don't I have an x minus 1? Don't those look like they might cancel? But they're not the same. But could I pull out a negative 1? Watch what happens when I pull a negative 1 out. I get negative 1 plus x. When I pull a negative 1 out, I get negative 1 plus x. Do these match kind of now? Can I rewrite that as x minus 1? So what you'll notice is actually this and this will actually cancel because that is x. If you want to write it as x minus 1, you consider it as x minus 1. So these two cancel. What else cancels? I see some 2's canceling. Don't the 2's cancel? And don't the x plus 3's cancel? So it looks like what's left, it looks like I have an x squared minus 4 over negative 1. Now does x squared minus 4 factor? Yeah, that's a difference of squares. So that's going to be x minus 2, x plus 2. And do I need to divide by negative 1? If it's negative 1, could I simply just put a negative 1 right there? That might confuse some of you, but instead of dividing by negative 1, since it's 1, do you really need a 1 on the bottom? Can you just put the negative on top? So I would probably write it like this instead of over negative 1, but you could also write it over negative 1.